Today we're looking at how to solve multi-step linear equations. Your essential question is, how do I write and solve equations? So what you're actually looking at is writing equations from word problems. Your learning intention, I'm learning to write and solve multi-step equations. You have 2 warm-up questions. Pause the video and see if you can do those on your own. Well, I hope you tried. First, we have to distribute. The 12 doesn't change. 12 is equal to negative 4 times negative 6x. Negative times negative is a positive. 4 times 6 is 24x. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. 24x plus 12. To solve, I subtract 12 from both sides. Zero is equal to 24x. And yes, we are doing it correctly. Divide by 24, you should know what the answer is right now. And 0 is equal to x. So if you're looking at this, you can substitute it back in. 0 goes here, so negative 4 times 0 is 0. Or negative 6 times 0 is 0. Negative 4 times 0 is 0 minus 3. So you're going to, or 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. Okay, for the next one, we've got an extra step in there. We still start off by distributing. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Minus 8 is equal to 4 plus 2x. Simplify. 8x. Negative 6 minus 8 more is negative 14 is equal to 4 plus 2x. Now we're ready to solve. Which is smaller, 2x or 8x? 2x. So I subtract 2x from both sides. 6x minus 14 is equal to 4. Add 14 to both sides. Six x is equal to 18. Divide by 6. X is equal to 3. Okay, so just take it step by step. Think what comes next, what comes next, what comes next. Okay, so the first word problem. A batting machine uses an automatic baseball feeder. During baseball practice, the feeder is 1/6 full. An attendant fills it with 15 balls, so the feeder is now 2/3 full. How many baseballs does the feeder hold when full? Fill in the rest of the equation and solve. So we're starting off with that 1/6 full. Okay, this is where that 1/6 comes from. Then he adds 15 balls. So that would be plus 15. Now, once he does that, what happens? The feeder is now 2/3 full. So that's 2/3 because we're wanting to know how many it holds. So what is our first step? Well, we're going to subtract 1/6 from both sides. Now, we've come across our first problem. 2/3 and 1/6 cannot be subtracted because you've got to have that common denominator. So I asked myself, will 3 divide evenly into 6? Yes. So I can change 2/3 to something over 6. What do I multiply 3 by to get 6? I multiply it by 2. I also multiply the top by 2 and I end up with 4/6. So this has become 4/6. 4 minus 1 gives me 3/6x. Okay. I know that 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2 because 3 is 1/2 of 6. 15 is equal to 1/2 of x. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of my fraction. 2 times 15 is 30. 30 is equal to x. What does that mean? It means that the feeder will hold 30 balls. Baseballs. That's not a very good E, so I am going to erase it, make it look prettier. Okay, any questions? When you do a word problem, your answer is a sentence. Okay, Lainey and Jen buy the same number of books at a used bookstore. Lainey buys paperback books and Jen buys hardcover books. Lainey spends $1.50 less than Jen. Solve the equation to find the number of books that each of them buys. So, we've got to decide what is our variable. They buy the same number of books. Lainey buys paperbacks and she spends $1.50 less than Jen. So we know that they buy the same number of books. Now we have to look over here because this tells us the paperback books are 45 cents and the hardcovers are $1.20. But Lainey also spends $1.50 less. What is our variable? What variable do we want to use? B for the number of books. Okay, now Lainey buys paperbacks, so those are the 45-cent books. We don't know how many she buys. Times the number of books. And she buys $1.50 less than Jen. So if I add $1.50, then she will be the same as Jen's number of books. How do I solve? Now, if I wanted to be really precise, I should put 1, because this is 1B. Usually we don't put it there, but I'm going to put it here so we know what we're doing. I'm going to subtract 0.45b from both sides. $1.50 is equal to, okay, so this would be 1 minus 0.45. So if I looked at it as this is what I'm looking at. I've got to borrow from the 10. This becomes 9. This becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. This becomes 0.55b. Now, I'm going to divide both sides by 0.55. So grab the calculator. So 1.50 divided by 0.55, and I get $22.72. So if you're looking, I made a mistake. Instead of being 1B, how much does she pay for each of her books? It's 1.2. Okay, so this will give us a different answer here. And then it will work out correctly. So 1.2 minus 0.45. Okay, I have to borrow from the 2. This will leave this with 1, but this becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. I have to borrow from this 1, and this becomes 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. So this is 0.75. Now, divide both sides by 0.75. .5 divided by 0.75, and I end up with 2. What does that mean? That means that they both bought 2 books. Okay. Okay, Jackie has a coupon for $8 off the price of a jacket. Then the clerk takes 25% off the discounted price, so she saves an additional $10. Determine the original cost of the jacket. Write the equation, convert the percentage to a fraction, and then solve. So, if we're looking at 25%, 25% is what fraction? it would be equal to 25 over 100, which is equal to 1/4. So, X will be the price of the jacket, original price. So we know that she had a coupon for $8 off the price of the jacket. So that would be X, the original price, minus 8. But then she got a discounted price of 25%, 1/4. And that saved her $10. How do we solve? Well, we could start out by distributing, but I think I would rather get rid of my fraction and multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1/4, which is 4. X minus 8 is equal to 40. Add 8 to both sides. And X is equal to 48. So the original cost of the jacket is $48. And I spent $2.75 at the school store. She bought 2 erasers and some pencils. How many pencils did she buy? Write and solve the equation. Step 1, identify your variable. Well, she's buying pencils, so what do we want for our variable? P would be good. P is the number of pencils bought. Okay, we know that the erasers cost 25 cents each. So, she spent $2.75 total. With that $2.75, she bought each pencil 75 cents, so 0.75 P plus 2 times 25 so $2.75 is 0.75 P plus 50. I'm going to subtract 50 cents from both sides. So 2.25 is equal to 0.75 P. Divide by 0.75. .25 divided by 0.75, and we end up with 3. Anna bought 3 pencils. For the last one, this time we have to distribute this because we can't multiply both sides by 5 because you've got too many moving pieces. So we'll distribute first. 1/5 of n is 1/5 n. 1/5 of 10, 10 divided by 5 is 2, is equal to 6 minus 6 minus 3.5. So if I'm looking at this, I have to start by simplifying here. This becomes 5. This becomes 2 over 2. 2 over 2 minus 1 over 2 is 1 over 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. This converts into 2.5. So add 2 to both sides. One-fifth n is equal to 4.5. Now, multiply by 5 to get rid of your fractional coefficient.